sometimes get the upper hand. Perhaps the adversary will triumph, and perhaps not. You see, in the end, resiliency rises up and fights back and conquers the adversary and goes on to a win. It happened again last night. Today it's the finale. O's and Blue Jays up next on MASN. It's the Orioles on MASN on an overcast Sunday afternoon in downtown Baltimore. It's the Orioles and Blue Jays. Today, the finale of this three-game weekend series. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter. Welcome to Camden Yards. And for the Orioles, there is no place like home. The Birds returned home on Friday night to begin a six-game homestand, and they have put together back-to-back thrilling come-from-behind wins over the Blue Jays. And for the Orioles, they have dominated the season series with Toronto, doing it their way, with power and with defense, and the power has been on display this weekend here at Camden Yards. If you look at the numbers between the Orioles and the Blue Jays this year, the Orioles have dominated in power. Birds have outscored Toronto 38-22, but look at the home run difference, 16-5, and the runs via the home runs astounding. 27 of the Orioles' 38 runs via the home runs. The Blue Jays have just 7. That's 71% of the runs scored by the Orioles on the home runs. You see the batting average very similar, but the Orioles have dominated the series, going 7-1 in large part because of the long ball threat. And Mike Bordick was on display last night. Orioles scored 7 runs, 6 of them came in on 3 home runs.
Yeah, the Orioles playing some real good baseball, obviously, to start the season, but especially within the division. And the Toronto Blue Jays in particular, they're making the most of their home runs. Typically, it's a slugfest between these two teams. Last year, the Blue Jays had the advantage at 10-9. This year, the Orioles getting out on top and really kind of stymieing this the opponent's offense. Nice to see the home runs coming big and coming with a lot of run production on the end. But yeah, Orioles having the advantage here in the early part of the season.
Now, the home run certainly provided the winning difference last night. However, if not for the defensive game the Orioles played, the Blue Jays may have pulled away.
Yeah, they came up with some huge double plays in yesterday's ball game. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. This defense, one of the best in all of baseball. Take a look, Jonathan Schoop, the perfect backhand glove feed, hitting J.J. Hardy in stride. Hardy cutting this one loose, about 80 miles an hour across the diamond. Here, pretty routine. J.J. Hardy, once again, though, the perfect feed to Schoop, and he cleans up the second inning here. Of course, Jonathan Schoop, the strong arm at second base. But how about this beauty? Manny Machado showing that range, the quick release at 1.20. I mean, incredible athleticism, staying fluid through the play, and incredible body control. You get the ball in the hands of Jonathan Schoop, and he's something special out there at second base. That strong arm, about 77 miles across the diamond. But, you know, the defense working so well, it's a good sign for the pitchers. Throw strikes, let the defense flash the leather.
Now, the Orioles today have a chance for a 3-game weekend sweep. And, Mike, we know it's difficult to sweep any opponent, regardless of how they're playing at the moment. But this would be an uplifting way to get this homestand started if the Birds could get that win today.
Yeah, it's already been pretty uplifting, to say the least. A tough road trip, a couple quick wins here. They're playing so well at Camden Yards. I look to them to keep it rolling right now.
All right, so today it's the Orioles and the Blue Jays, the finale of 3. It is Little League Day at Camden Yards. A lot of youngsters at the ballpark. Ball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Well, the Orioles certainly are enjoying playing at home this year. The Birds have a record of 15-3 at Camden Yards. And look at this. The Orioles and the Texas Rangers right now share the longest active home winning streak. The Birds have won 8 consecutive games here at home, a lot more than the Angels and the Athletics. They are tied for third with 4 consecutive wins at home. Now, the Orioles making a run at the longest winning streak in home games. You have to go back to 1969 when the Orioles won 12 consecutive home games, that at Memorial Stadium. And now let's get a look at our BGE home game time temperature. BGE Home is Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? 65 degrees, the breeze out of the southeast at 10, and that humidity at 55%. We have overcast, cloudy skies in downtown Baltimore. So the finale of this 3-game weekend series, Blue Jays trying to salvage one. Pilar, Bautista, and Morales with Justin Smoke in that cleanup spot. He is really heating up, in particular with the power. 4 home runs in those last 6 games. Travis Martin and Barney with Alford and Maley. A right-handed heavy lineup today for Toronto.
Now let's take a look at Wade Miley's scouting report. He needs to be aggressive early for sure. Limit that pitch count. First pitch strikes are going to be important to this Blue Jays lineup, and he's got to limit the opportunities. Way too many walks to start this season off. Almost 6 per 9 he's averaging this season. You give this team too many chances and they will hurt you. And yeah, much needed length. Last 3 starts hasn't been able to get past the 5th inning. I'd like to get a little bit deeper. Of course, bullpen health is wealth for sure. 3.02 earned run average for Wade Miley. Has picked up 1 win on the season. 46 punch-outs, and there's that big walk number at 27. Opponent sitting just 234 though off Wade Miley. Controlling the lefties just 167. He has given up 5 long balls.
So it is Youth Baseball Day here at Camden Yards. There will be a lot of youthful enthusiasm during the game as the Birds try to complete this 3-game sweep. And Miley looking for his 2nd win of the year. All right, Mike. Now, you know how in baseball everything is broken down and everything has a number? Here's something interesting as Pilar walks up. Miley has started 2 day games. His ERA is 1.80. They can't touch him when the sun's out.
No chance.
There's Pilar, and it bounces in there 1-0. Kevin Pilar, he has really taken advantage and feasted on Orioles pitching this year. Batting .308 overall. But he's batting .345 against the Orioles. And he pops this one up. It's going to be Manny at third base. So in a couple of pitches, a quick out here in the first.
Yeah, I like to see that quick out. Take a look at the Orioles defense behind Miley. Mancini, Jones, and Trumbo will be in the O's outfield. Paul Janisch getting the start at shortstop. Recently called up with Ryan Flaherty on the DL. Jonathan Scope will be at second base. Machado and Davis on the corners, and Caleb Joseph getting the start behind the plate. Look at Paul Janisch, great defender in his own right. He's swinging the bat pretty well in AAA as well.
Ball 1 to Jose Bautista, who was booed yet again. And another pop foul back out of play. Wade Miley, 30 years old, now in his 7th season. He's looking to even his career record today. He is 59-60 in his career. Down and in. Now, one thing he does, Mike, is he works very, very quickly, so the hitters really have to be ready. Real good off-speed pitch. Wow. Bautista well out in front.
My goodness. Of course, Wade Miley, the nasty slider that he loves to play off the fastball. How about the big hook, 76 miles an hour? And Bautista way out in front. I haven't seen that big one too frequently this season.
Tried it again, couldn't get in the chase. Count goes full 3-2. Bautista is really heating up. In his last 12 games, he's hit 5 home runs and has driven in 13.
Yeah, see those impressive numbers right there.
There's a little tapper. Miley has to hurry. Nicely done. He got him. 2 men down. Let's get a look at our PNC inside the numbers on this Sunday afternoon. And here's Miley, home versus road.
Yeah, Wade Miley much better here at home this season. See the 1.42 earned run average at home compared to the road earned run average. nearing 4. How about the runs allowed? Just 2 runs here in the home ballpark. 12 runs on the road. One of his best starts of the year, a 7-inning stint where he didn't allow any runs here at his home ballpark. A good start today. Early contact. Of course, getting Joey Bats out. That 3-2 pitch, pretty nice.
Ball 1 to Kendrys Morales, the DH. John Gibbons has 7 right-handed batters and a couple of switch hitters who will bat right-handed against Miley, including Morales. Morales 0 for 7 in this series. And overall, the Orioles have contained him this year. He's 3 for 27 against the O's. However, one of those hits was a walk-off home run in Toronto. Miley falls behind 3-0.
Yeah, you had mentioned Wade Miley working fast. Look at the manager, John Gibbons, Blue Jays side. An up and down year, mostly down for this team. They're starting to get some of their DL players back off the list. So Martin made the start yesterday behind the plate.
And a strike, 3-1. Of course, for Miley, he's had trouble commanding the fastball this year. It's been hit or miss. He's been inconsistent with it, and that's why his walk totals are way up from his career numbers. And a ground ball into the shift. Scope bobbles it, and Morales is going to reach. Jonathan, instead of getting in front of that, just leaned down to backhand and looked like it hit the heel of the glove.
Yeah, pretty easy backhand play for Jonathan Scope, but it kicked up at the end. Take a look right here. Orioles playing the big shift. Power righty hits off the heel, and when he goes to regroup the troops, gets into a little panic mode, takes it off the knee, gets to look it back into the glove. With Morales' speed, all you got to do is take a deep breath, pick up the ball with your bare hand, and he's out.
So an E4 for Scope, his 3rd error of the year, and that gets Justin Smoke up with a man on. He smoked 2 out of 8 in the series. He did hit a home run last night. 10 home runs now on the year. He is tied for 8th in the league with those 10 long balls.
Good pitch right there. Nice fastball from Miley on that outside corner. Actually made a nice pitch to Morales as well. He's not getting rewarded for it as the inning gets extended.
One and 2.
That's going to be important for Wade Miley. Take a look at the Mercedes pitch cast, moving the baseball around. Okay, starts with the fastball down and away, goes down and in the top of the strike zone. Got to keep this Blue Jays team guessing, consistently guessing throughout this game.
And a base hit to right field. So Smoke on a 1-2 pitch just serves it the other way. And now 2 on with 2 down.
Well, it might be me, but it just seems like more hitters with 2 strikes are starting to let the ball travel and go the other way, get a little bit shorter and put it in play. Wade Miley wanting that fastball in off the plate hard. Just not quite getting there, allowing Smoke to shoot it to right field.
The 2 down. Here's Travis, and there's a fly ball to deep left field, and that ball's going to go. And oh, is that error costly? The Blue Jays jump on Miley, and it's a 3-0 lead for Toronto. It should have been 3 up, 3 down. The error kept it going, and the Blue Jays take advantage of it.
Yeah, those extra opportunities seem to come back and haunt you. Wade Miley's been battling and actually walking the tightrope on the walks all season long. This time the defense lets him down a little bit. Of course, a breaking ball down and into the right, he doesn't help too much either. First pitch just hanging there for Travis to get a good look, and he has been red hot in the month of May, and he continues.
And he's now hitting 7 consecutive games. So the Orioles again will have to play catch up. As Miley is tagged by a 3-run home run. It's a fastball by Russell Martin, so it's 0-2. Martin 1 for 4 last night in his return from the DL. And a little bit low. Excuse me, swing to Davis. He'll go to the bag, and that will end the inning. 9 extra pitches and 3 runs following the error. Led to the bottom of the first, Toronto 3, and here come the O's. Going 3-run home run by Devin Travis, so a 3-0 lead as the O's come to bat, and the O's have had some firepower in this series. How about Wellington Castillo? First 2 games of this series, he's hit 3 home runs, tie home run, game-winning home run, game-winning home run. He's on a tear. Here's the Orioles lineup brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Scope, Jones, and Machado with Davis in the cleanup spot. Then Trumbo. Castillo will DH today. Pretty good numbers head-to-head against Marco Estrada. Mancini's in left, then Joseph and Giannis.
And how about Estrada's scouting report? Keep away. Yeah, works the edges with all 4 of his pitches. And great changeup, really. And he can command it, work it in and out, but has struggled here recently. 12 runs and 4 homers in his last 3 games. Take a look at the rest of his numbers. This will be his 10th start. 2-2 record with a 3.60 earned run average. 58 punch-outs for Estrada. Good change coming up big for him. Opponent's hitting just .237 overall. 7 home runs. Mentioned the 4 in the last 3 games.
Jonathan Scope again in the leadoff spot. 1 out of 7 in the series. In his last 7 games, he is 5 for 30. Doesn't chase.
And there's that changeup. Now Estrada, you wonder why the changeup is so good. It's the arm cell. It's like the fastball out of his hand. There's the ability to command that fastball and play the changeup off it. Really good as well.
And the 1-2's outside.
He just feeds off over aggressive hitters. You start leaning and show you're going to be jumpy on the changeup. He'll just keep flipping it up there. He throws it almost 40% of the time. And about half of his strikeouts come by way of that change.
Swing and a miss, foul tip held on by Luke Maile. And 1 away.
Well, this is how good it is. 77 miles an hour. So taking almost 13 miles an hour off it. And it's all over the plate. Pretty much center cut pitch. It pulls the string and the brakes go on this baseball. And dropping down below the knees gets Scope.
Here's Adam Jones. 12 hits in his last 9 games. Bouncer towards third. It goes foul. Russell Martin playing third base to get another right-handed bat in there. It's only the 2nd time this year he's been at third, and the 2nd time in the past 2 seasons. In his career, he's had 20 games of experience at third base.
You know, there's a great Yogi Berra quote about third base. Third base ain't so bad if nothing's hit to you. So you look out down there in the hot corner.
And Adam maybe going to test him. Not a bad thought.
Well, might as well. Somebody's got to test him today.
Foul back, count to 1-2.
Had him a little more reminder right there to himself. He kind of tips that shoulder, a little dip on the backside. Self-reminder to stay on top over the baseball.
And he got him, high fastball.
On top of the zone with the fastball. Looks good up around the eyes, and just another weapon that he possesses. A four-seamer. The ability to move the fastball around. You know, he'll paint the edges, but on the top and the bottom of the zone as well. And that little bat drop. And strike three, back-to-back Ks.
Well, Estrada has a 4-game winning streak going against the O's. And he's never allowed more than 3 earned runs in his 10 career starts against the Orioles as Manny comes up. He has faced the Orioles twice this year, and each time a no decision. Bounce to third. Martin plays a big hop. Runs it across and in time. So the first chance played nicely by Russell Martin. Birds go 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the second. 3-0 Toronto. Very good friend of Adam Jones, and earlier today Adam met with kids from the Torrey Smith's Family Fun Level Teens program. Now the mission of Smith's family program is to provide youth with the tools that they need to identify, unleash, and reach their full potential. So nicely done by Torrey Smith as he continues to be active in the community, and congrats to Adam Jones yet again helping out when kids are involved.
Absolutely.
And Torrey just waved. He saw he was on television.
Yeah, pretty good pair there. Torrey Smith, Adam Jones in Baltimore.
Darwin Barney, the shortstop today. Alford on deck, and then Luke Mailey against Wade Miley. Barney comes in just 4 for his last 31. He's 1 out of 8 in the series.
Pretty good fastball right there, down and away. Miley like needing that call. Want it for sure. Help him stay efficient here early in this game.
And he's missing low, except for the Travis home run. Miley's now allowed 6 home runs in 9 starts. Today's his 9th start of the year. High strike. 3-2. Barney thought he had ball 4.
Yeah, gets leaning a little bit. Miley trying to work that outside edge and gets the strike. up and in. Barney's eyes are looking out over that outer third. He doesn't think this is going to be a strike at all. Only back at the count.
Looked like a generous call.
I think he might see it a little better there. He's having a problem picking up that pitch down and away.
So an extended at bat yet again by a Blue Jays hitter. Here comes the 7th pitch. Sky to left center field. Easy play for Adam Jones. And he's got it for the out. And one down in the Toronto second. Fans, come on out and celebrate Memorial Day here at Oriole Park. The Birds will take on the Yankees. That is Monday, May 29th at 1:05. And all fans receive an Orioles Memorial Day t-shirt. Great seats are available for the series. It's a 3-game series that begins on Memorial Day. For your tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Good to see folks from the Navy here. And there's a strike. Alford was called up from Double-A to make his big league debut on Friday night. Got in the game last night. This one is swept to Giannis, who will be tested for the first time. And he gets it there just in time to get the hustling Alford.
Some real good speed, right? A great athlete. We talked about him in the first game. He played college football as quarterback and then ended up playing defensive back. Yeah, he's got some wheels.
Ron Culpa, the home plate umpire, looked towards John Gibbons to see if they may want to challenge. It was a bang-bang play, but they've elected not to. And that'll bring Luke Maile up with 2 outs and nobody on. See, Maile at 0-70, 3 for 43 since he was called up. And he has just 2 hits in his last 30 at bats. Maile allowed the 3-run home run in the first after the error kept the inning going.
Yeah, if nothing else, Wade Miley's really got to control the bottom part of this lineup. The young bats, some of the struggling bats that the Jays have had here recently.
His only loss was against Tampa Bay on April 25th, and the O's lost that game 2-0. Another strike on the corner. But he pitched really well in that game. He allowed 2 runs in 7 innings in a tough 2-0 loss.
He's had a lot of no decisions this year, right?
Well, his only win was against the Blue Jays. That was April 14th up at Rogers Center. 3 runs in 6 innings. And a swing and a miss. He got him. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Wade Miley after he allowed the 3-run home run in the first. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Birds come to bat. Earlier today, the 3rd Battalion 166th Regiment Army instructors had the opportunity to spend some time with Brad Brock and Chris Tillman. They received a T-shirt, a cap, received autographs from the players. As part of the Orioles Military Appreciation Program, the Orioles and Orioles Reach donate a catered private suite at each Sunday home game here at Oriole Park to servicemen and women. And we continue to thank all of our military members for their sacrifice and their service to our country. The folks having a good time with the American flag. A lot of youngsters in that group.
Yeah, having some fun, huh? Some good gear right there. Yeah.
Chris Davis leads off. O's went 3 up, 3 down in the first. Swings through a changeup, 0-1.
Boy, if that changeup starts down, oh, it is nasty. Boy, it just drops off the table.
Comes right back with it. And it's 0-2. StatCast brought to you by Amazon Web Services. There's the shift. So they put Martin, an inexperienced third baseman, on the right side. Travis and Smoke on that side as well. And Darwin Barney, the shortstop, the only infielder on the left side. Davis doing a real good job, especially as of late, spreading the ball around.
It sure is. There's the whole field. We're showing the power the other way as well. That's 4 straight changeups to the crusher. Talk about trying to slow somebody down. Make that fastball look about 98.
Fastball misses. Davis is just 3 for 22 against Marco Estrada, but 2 of those hits are home runs. And a good take. And he works the count full. Estrada out of Sylmar, California. He's in his 10th season. And here's the 7th pitch to Davis, leading off in the second. Strike 3 call. Fastball right there.
Wow. How about that pattern? 4 changeups, 3 fastballs. Strike 3. Dots 91 on that outside corner. A little bit of a cut on the fastball. Those 4 changeups really set it up. Davis kind of guessing at the end.
So 3 strikeouts of the first 4 batters. Mark Trumbo now. Mark, a real good series, as you see. 6 out of 9, 3 RBIs. The RBIs all came last night. Breaking ball for a strike. Mark in his last 15 games is really tearing it up. 24 hits in his last 65 at-bats. That is a .369 clip with 4 home runs and 10 ribbies.
Here it is. You're talking about how hot he has been. 4 home runs in the last 11 games. And driving the ball all over the place. How about only 2 home runs in the previous 30? Mr. Trumbo is starting to heat up for sure. Last year's home run champ, American League.
Barney at shortstop will have a play. Trumbo's retired and 2 down. Our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, Constance Heigl of Baltimore, has won $500 for being selected and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit in the game today. Play Home Run Rich's scratch-offs and win up to $50,000 or enter your non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/homerun. And Wellington Castillo DHing today. He's so hot, Buck had to put him in the lineup. And he wasn't going to catch a day game after a night game, so he's DHing.
Some pretty good numbers off Estrada. Of course, you got to ride that hot bat, and he has been tearing the cover off the ball since coming off the disabled list.
Now Castillo's got a 9-game hitting streak. He's batting .439 in the streak. 18th for 41, 4 home runs and 13 RBIs in those 9 games. And he also has an RBI streak going, Mike. He's driven in a run in 6 consecutive games.
Yeah, seeing the ball well. The reason he's seeing the ball well, limited head movement. He's trusting his eyes. When you feel good in the batter's box, you really don't think about anything else other than seeing the baseball. You don't get caught up in body movement or hand position.
They'll be back out of play. Well, Castillo with an RBI in 6 consecutive games. That right now is the longest active streak. Christian Yelich of the Miami Marlins has the season's longest. He had an RBI in 7 straight games in April. So Castillo looking to equal that if he drives in a run here today. And the 1-2, he got him. Swing and a miss. So back-to-back 3 up, 3 down innings for Marco Estrada. We are through 2. Toronto has the lead. PNC Bank for the achiever in you. And by American Standard Heating and Air. Go to MidAtlanticComfort.com for special offers and to find a dealer near you. Youth Baseball Day here at Camden Yards. All the youngsters had a parade on the field before the game. Lots of snacks today.
Yeah. A lot of good afternoon naps, maybe. Game,
especially for the parents.
Right.
Here's Kevin Pillar, his second at bat. Pillar popped up to Manny at third, leading off the game. This is going to be a tough play for Giannis. And he can't get it there in time. Pillar has too much speed. So Miley a little unlucky early on here. The error kept the inning going in the first. And now a little swinging bunt, if you will.
Yeah, a little chopper right there. Another good breaking ball, though. And Pillar leaning out on the breaking ball. So gets a half-step advantage out of the box. And he's flying down the line. Up a little infield hit.
Well, Giannis back with the Orioles today. Called up. Ryan Flaherty goes to the disabled list. Tendonitis in his throwing shoulder. Bautista hit a comebacker his first at bat. Throw to first, and the ball hit Pillar and in the right field. Scope gets to it and flips it to second, not nearly in time.
Wow. Well, Pillar rubbing the head a little bit. Wade Miley's got that interesting pickoff move and catches him in the back of the helmet. Chris Davis trying to reach out there. Errant throw. Pillar finds himself in scoring position.
The throwing error on Miley. The Orioles already with 2 errors in this game. Bautista hit the little comebacker in front of the mound that Miley made a good play to get to it. There's a strike. Miley committing his 2nd throwing error of the year. So the Orioles now 23 errors, and they have 16 throwing errors. That is bounced to Manny. That frees Pilar. And he gets Bautista at first for the out.
Nice freeze right there by Manny Machado. Quick look at second base. How about Wade Miley here? Runners in scoring position. Just the 184 batting average. He really bears down. You see right there. Nice off-speed pitch to get Bautista out in front. That's certainly going to help the cause, and a big reason why his earned run average is so low. Yeah, a lot of base runners for Wade Miley, but knows how to pitch when the pressure's on.
Kendrys Morales reached on the error by Scope. It should have been the final out of the first. And that opened the floodgates. Smoke singled, and Devin Travis hit a 3-run home run, and that's how the Jays have their lead. Ball and a strike on Morales.
Nice pitch right there. Ability to work that outside edge with the 2-seam fastball. A little running action away from the right-hander. Can play the changeup off that pitch in the inside corner. Work the fastball in, and then that power slider.
Perfect pitch on the outside corner, 1-2. Kendrys Morales defected from Cuba, and he signed with the Angels in April of 2005. The Blue Jays are his 6th big league team. Knocked down by Joseph. Pilar's trying to advance the throw. He's out at third base. Quick tag by Manny Machado to get Kevin Pilar.
Yeah, Manny puts it right up on the shoulder. The throw led him. And Pilar staying at third base. He thinks he might have got the foot in there. How about Caleb Joseph bouncing out of the box? Quick look to see the runner. And boom, throw on the shoulder. Manny catches it right there. Question whether or not that right foot on the bag. Umpire in a great position. Bringing him up. Here is a good look. Glove down, foot not there. He's out. What a call. Oh, that's a nice play all the way around. Of course, Pilar, good read, man. You got to anticipate ball in the dirt. He does. But what he didn't anticipate was Caleb Joseph coming out of the chute. Man, he was like a rocket out of there. A strong arm down to third base.
Well, 2-2 on Morales. That erases the base runner in scoring position. And a full count. Miley for the season is averaging just under 6 walks per 9 innings. Broken bat fly ball to left. That's playable for Mancini. And Trey puts it away. So Caleb Joseph guns it to third, cuts down Kevin Pilar, and the Blue Jays go down in the 3rd. forward to Miller time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
And another big crowd here at Camden Yards. Big weekend. Nice turnout. Let's see this division rival continue.
Trey Mancini leads off. Another start against the right-handed pitcher. Another changeup.
Boy, that's nasty.
Mancini at 289. He's had a real solid month of May, and that's getting him extra playing time. He's becoming a semi-regular regular.
Yeah, and the fact that he's making the plays as well. You know, Buck can start to trust him out there defensively, wherever he puts him. First base, right field, left field.
And Mancini works the count to 2-1. Marco Estrada has been 0-1 on all 7 batters to begin the game. So he obviously has his command. Right field, that's going to be in there for a base hit. And it's going to get past Bautista. So Mancini's going to head to second base, and the Orioles have their first base runner. So Mancini stays hot, and again, Mike, there's the example. He uses the entire field.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably a lot of self-talk up there after getting in front of that first pitch changeup. You're a little cutter that stays on the plate, but look at the sound approach. Looking to right field, and that bat head kind of drag, leading with the hands. That head in a perfect position, eyes down. It's a line drive getting to that right field wall. Easy double for Mancini.
Talking to Mr. Doubles, Devin Travis. Here's Caleb Joseph. Orioles with a chance to chip back here. And a strike. Caleb at 268. In his last 6 games, however, he is 11 for 25 with a home run and 6 RBIs. Chance for an RBI here to get the Orioles on the board.
Yeah, Caleb got that rhythm and timing back with that DL stint from Castillo.
Another changeup. Well, our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers. Which position has been the most productive? Catcher.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, RBI has been consistent production throughout this Oriole lineup, but the catchers have been incredible. Of course, Castillo red hot with his 16 RBI, but Caleb Joseph, getting that extra playing time, has exploded as well. And pretty nice to see the backstops doing the damage offensively.
Caleb in these last 6 games, a 440 clip. Very good numbers with runners in scoring position. And Pilar in center field. He has a good arm. Mancini with a leadoff double. Tempted but didn't go.
Another situation with runners in scoring position. And 2 strikes as well. The 2 strikes, just 175 batting average. Just above that, you see with runners in scoring position at 236. So pretty impressive numbers for Estrada all the way around. Of course, historically keeps that low opponent batting average.
That stays fair. So Joseph didn't mean to do that, but he advances the runner. It was foul, and then it spun back.
Yeah, almost got a base knock out of that. Hopefully Estrada kept his eyes on that. That would have been a hit. Unbelievable English he put on the baseball. Was getting out in front of the changeup. There have been a lot of balls hit off the end of bats. This one very productive out.
There's Paul Janisch, his first at bat with the Orioles this year. He batted .255 at AAA Norfolk. Called up today. There's always a lot of roster speculation with this team because of the way the Birds have been shuttling pitchers in the bullpen back and forth. And Tyler Wilson was scratched from his AAA start yesterday. So, of course, all the reporters thought, well, Tyler will be there on Sunday. But it was this move instead with Flaherty going on the disabled list. And it's really good to have a guy like Paul Janisch in your system, because defensively for Buck, he just steps in and he gets it done.
Yeah, I mean, there's some depth everywhere. You know, we talked yesterday about some of the depth of the catching position, but even infielders. They went out and grabbed some versatile infielders. Paul Janisch can play every infield position. They've got Andino down there as well. So there are players to choose from.
Johnny Giavitello,
yeah, exactly.
Second baseman.
Yeah, he's down there raking as well.
Mancini at third with one down. Janisch down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. And he got him. So Janisch strikes out. Big out for Marco Estrada, 2 down.
Now Estrada's changeup obviously working. The fact that he can get that first pitch strike, which he's been perfect on. But this high fastball he's gone to a few times in this ball game. So tough to get to. Looks like it's coming in hot after seeing so many off-speed pitches. He's taking advantage of that. On top of the strike zone and above.
5 Ks through the first 9 batters for Marco Estrada. Jonathan Schoop struck out his first at bat. Another changeup. It's amazing how effective that is on the first pitch of an at bat, because what is he changing up from? He hasn't thrown a pitch yet.
Right.
Normally it's a disruptor trying to upset the timing after a fastball. And the fastball misses up, 1-1. Maley asked for an appeal, but Ron Culpa didn't ask.
How about that? 10 for 10. First pitch strikes. Miley struggling right now. 4 for 12.
And the fastball right there, so he gets you thinking about that changeup, and then boom, sneaks it by you. So he got Chris Davis on the called strike 3 in the second.
Yeah, he's got a pretty big differential in velocities with his fastball and changeup. He's gotten the fastball up there 91, and that changeup he's dropped in at 76 in this ball game.
Just did get a piece of that.
And typically you'd like it around 10 miles an hour off the fastball. He's going 11, 12, 13, sometimes 14 miles an hour slower than the heater, but it looks exactly like the fastball coming out of his hand. That's why he can get away with the so-called mistakes on the plate. It's because of the good arm cell.
Fouls it off. Estrada has been more effective at Rogers Center this year than in road starts. If you just look at the ERA, 2 runs more per game in his road starts. At home he's 2.52, on the road 4.5. Started off very strong here, however. Mancini at third, the only base runner for the O's so far. And he gets Schoop. 6 strikeouts, and the Orioles go down in the third. Mancini a leadoff double, left stranded. Wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. 3-0 Toronto as we head to the fourth. A 3-run home run by Devin Travis in the first inning. After an error kept the inning going. Nice crowd on hand on this Sunday.
It was the fedora you were talking about yesterday.
And you promised to wear yours today.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. I couldn't. I found the pink one though.
Really?
I gave away earlier this year. It didn't fit, or I would have worn it.
Justin Smoak singled in the first. Smoak punched a single into right field. Scope with a diving grab. And from his knees, he flips it to Davis for the out. So he takes a base hit away from Justin Smoak and one down.
And a nice play right there by Jonathan. That ball was scorched. Looked like it was by Scope. The glove in a nice position. And take the knock away. Let's take a look. Good look right here. And that ball's cutting away. And Jonathan Scope puts that glove down where he thinks it's going to be. Take a look here. Perfect glove position. Nice diving play by Jonathan Scope.
Ball one to Travis with the 3-run home run. He jumped on the first pitch in the first inning. The second home run. Ball two.
He's been kind of targeting the right field scoreboard. A couple doubles whistled off the wall in this series. And a breaking ball that stays down and in. He jumped on, pulled it to left field for the 3-run shot.
There's yet another base hit for Travis. Man, he is on some kind of a tear. So a 1-out single. He's 2 for 2. His first 2 at bats. Fans, visit Orioles.com/auctions and you can bid on the Orioles Maryland flag script jerseys and caps that were worn during yesterday's Celebrate Maryland Day here at Camden Yards. Each item has been autographed and authenticated, and the proceeds will benefit the Orioles Charitable Foundation. Bidding closes Saturday at 10 p.m. so get involved. Orioles.com/auctions. Here's Russell Martin, who grounded out his first at bat. Off speed pitch for a strike.
And Miley says I had a change up too. Pretty good one right there. And Martin, a slow start offensively with some nerve problems, some shoulder problems. And he finally fessed up to the reason why the drop in batting average. And just coming off the disabled list in this series. And the Blue Jays still missing about 10 players.
Manny to second for one. Scope back to first. There's a double play. They turn another one, and that will end the inning. So Martin hits it to Machado, and once Manny gets it, around the horn it goes. Machado, Scope to Davis. A 9-pitch inning for Miley. Throughout the ceremonial first pitches, the duo includes Preston Brust and Baltimore native Chris Lucas. Their most recent album, The Fighters, features their first #1 hit, I Know Somebody and I Love This Life. Adam Jones and Dylan Bundy catching the ceremonial first pitches, and there they are in one of the suites enjoying the game today.
Yeah, they came down to spring training and met with the team. Yeah, Oriole fans. I think they played at the Preakness this weekend as well.
Yeah, and they played at Adam's charity thing, the Be More Around Town. Adam does the tailgate party prior to a Ravens game in the offseason. Of course, that is the Stay Hungry tailgate, because Adam's slogan is Stay Hungry.
Yeah.
So he copyrighted that. Ball and a strike. Adam struck out his first at bat, one of 6 strikeouts already from Marco Estrada.
Yeah, Estrada's been perfect in this ball game, throwing first pitch strikes. He's done it with changeups. Started Jones out with a big breaking ball, though. Oh, and Adam kind of grimacing again. He has been beat up here recently. Last night running into that center field wall and bring a home run back. He every day plays that kind of football mentality. Disregard, total disregard for the body, just playing hard.
Well, he is a gamer. No doubt about it. Leader in that clubhouse. Good take, ball 3. Estrada originally was drafted by the Nationals. He pitched in college at Long Beach State in his native California. 2005, he was a 6th round pick. Deep left field, the O's are on the board. Adam Jones hits it out. Number 7 makes it a 3-1 game.
Yeah. Hey, there's a song right there in that home run swing. Torrey Smith as well. Adam Jones has fans all over the place. Orioles on the board with that solo shot.
And another $500 for our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, Constance Heigl of Baltimore.
An impressive at bat by Adam Jones. He saw everything from Estrada, working the count full. But finally a mistake was made.
Bragging to Joey Rickard. How he got it done. Manny gets under one and pops it up a mile high. Russell Martin at third. And he's got it for the out. Let's get a look at that home run swing from Adam Jones.
Now 3-2 count right here, and Estrada tries to get that fastball up and out of the zone, but Adam Jones waiting on it in the happy zone. Wow, that is a sound approach. That head stayed perfectly still, got the foot down, and the bomb. No cash. Loving it.
I think Joey's trying to get pointers. He won't let Adam go by. Hey, why not? You got a veteran like that gets it done. Pick his brain.
Oh, yeah.
One-on-one on the swing and the miss. We're talking about Estrada, the difference home versus road in his starts. It also has shown up in the long ball as Adam Jones goes deep here in the 4th. Right field off the end of the bat. And Bautista has a play and 2 men down. Let's get a look at our Coons.com league leaderboard.
Yeah, Orioles 17-9. Winning percentage in the own division. How about 7-1 against Toronto this year? Started out the whole month of April playing within the division, leading to that 17-9 record of .654 win percentage. Leading the way in the East.
All brought to you by Coons.com. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. Well, if you're going to contend with all the games you play within your division, you have to play well within the division. The Orioles, by winning the first 2 games in this series, assured of the series win. So the Birds are now 6-1-2 splits in the series within the AL East. The only series they lost was the 2 out of 3 in New York. But they have 6 wins, 1 loss, and they have 2 splits. 2 splits are against the Red Sox.
And we don't know about the jaw a little bit. Caught him right on the chin, right over the top of the glove. Yeah, we'll shake the teeth up a little bit. Looking for blood or teeth or something right there. Don't mean to laugh, but probably his choice that he wanted to catch, right? So
catchers are in demand. Just ask B.J. Surhoff. That's going to be a base hit for Trumbo the other way. Pillar's going to be able to cut it off. Man, does he cover some ground. And he'll hold Trumbo to a long single.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting right there by Mark Trumbo. The lousy 2-out knock. I'm waiting on it. 2-strike curveball. Pretty impressive piece right there. Backing it up. Driving it to right center field. Look at the swing. Now, that's a big curveball, so the foot is down. Has to be a little hesitation right there, but the bat path clean, direct to the baseball. The big man on his game right now offensively.
So that gets the tying run to the plate, and it happens to be Mr. Dramatic, Wellington Castillo. Yeah, but talking about catchers, remember when BJ was recruited to go play for Brian Roberts' dad at North Carolina? He was a shortstop in high school, and he made the conversion there. Left-handed hitting catcher might help you out.
Yeah.
And then when he was drafted, #1 overall pick.
Absolutely.
That worked out okay for BJ.
Heck yeah. A lot of years as a catcher in the major leagues. The fact that he was a great athlete. He ended up playing some outfield, third base as well.
Trumbo on at first with his 2-out single. So Mark has a hit in each game in this series. Well, he was right on that.
Well, the Orioles been so good about hitting them when it counts. 18 go-ahead home runs this year. Of course, recently Castillo being the hero. These go ahead, and then the game-winning home runs as well. 11 game-winning home runs, third most in the American League. And Davis leading with the 4 go-ahead homers, and Jones and Castillo leading with the 2 game-winning home runs each. Pretty impressive stuff. The drama of the game.
Well, you look at how the home run bats are coming around, and it's really up and down the lineup. The Orioles in April played 23 games and hit 30 home runs. This is their 19th game in May. Adams' home run was their 31st. So they've already passed by 1 April's home run total, and there's still more games to be played. It's only May 21st.
Yeah.
2-2 on Castillo. Strike 3 called. Snuck one by him. I don't think Castillo agreed with the call, and the inning ends. But Adam Jones gets into one. His 7th of the year, puts the Orioles on the board. 3-1 game after 4. Head Heritage Automotive, offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit us in store or online at heritagedealers.com. Minnesota comes to town tomorrow to begin a 3-game series. Night games on Monday and Tuesday, and then a 12:30 matinee on Wednesday afternoon. Minnesota, one of the surprise teams in baseball. As play begins today, they have a half-game lead on the Indians for first place in the AL Central. Now, Mike, don't try what those kids were doing. You'll get dizzy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no chance.
Lower third, Barney Alford and Luke Maile against Wade Miley. Ron Kolpa's had a pretty big strike zone here. He's called some high strikes. He's called some low strikes. Pitchers got to love that. Hitters, not so much.
Yeah. Both pitchers really working in some off-speed pitches. Well, he's got the slow breaking ball working. Change-up slipping in there.
Just gets a piece. Now the Blue Jays had something interesting happen to them yesterday. Of course, they made 2 more roster moves yesterday, with 2 players going on the DL and 2 players leaving. They've now made 65 roster moves on the season. And that's up and away. That ties Seattle for the most. The Orioles have made 55, but the Orioles is more shuttling pitchers back and forth. With Toronto, it's been a lot of injuries and injury replacements. 2-2 on Barney, leading off in the 5th. And that's Manny, who will not be able to make the play. It skipped off his glove. So there's another error. That's the 3rd error on the Orioles in this game.
Man, little chopper right here. Another good pitch by Wade Miley, and man, he just doesn't get the glove down there. You see the hop he's looking at. Ball actually stays down a little bit. Doesn't come up as much as he's anticipated. Of course, always easier to go down to up than it is up to down. That ball beat him.
There's a strike to Alford. So the 3 errors, that is a season high. Three other times the Orioles committed 2 errors in a game. 1-1 the count. So the Blue Jays, Mike, with all these roster moves. Yesterday, beat writers for Toronto reported this. The Baltimore police showed up at the Blue Jays clubhouse with one of the dogs, you know, the sniffer dogs. And of course, they don't tell you what they're looking for. It's going to be a tough play for Caleb. Alford can fly, and he got him. Nicely done. So the police went into the clubhouse with the dog, and the dog did his work, sniffing around. And one of the players looked up because of all the roster moves and said, wait a minute, did he just get called up from AAA Buffalo? Got to have a sense of humor when you're 18 and 26 and things are not going your way. But they've had so many roster moves. Here's this unexpected guest. So what the heck? Go with it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the Blue Jays have been in a whirlwind for sure, testing their minor leagues with so many injuries.
Here's Maile, the number 9 batter, runner in scoring position now.
Caleb Joseph, another nice play back there to get that first out on the board.
Well, the error in the first inning did hurt. That kept the inning going, and then Smoke followed with a single. Scope booted the ball hit by Morales. It would have been 3 up, 3 down. And then Travis hit the home run. Miley's error in the 3rd didn't hurt. We'll see if this error in the 5th hurts. Working back ground ball to Scope. Miley's retired for the 2nd out. Moving to 3rd is Darwin Barney. And Miley's an out away from getting out of it. The 2017 All-Star Game voting is underway. Go to Orioles.com/voteorange. Vote 5 times for the chance to win an autographed All-Star jersey, and vote 20 times to receive a buy one get one offer for the Ranger Series in July. So vote early, vote often, vote orange. Visit Orioles.com/voteorange today. And vote for number 10, vote for number 13. Chris Davis will deserve some support. Now here's Pilar, who's been a hot hitter, runner at third and 2 down.
Pilar dangerous because he can beat you in a lot of different ways. Of course, got the power with the 6 home runs. We've seen him use the other field, but a great field or infield speed as well. Tops a ball and beat it out.
28 years old now in his 5th season. He was a 32nd round draft pick in 2011. He's from West Hills in California, so one of those players that given a chance and then did it on his own and worked hard and got to the big leagues, and now he's a regular. Miley falls behind him 3-0. And there's a 4-pitch walk, so 2 on with 2 down. First walk allowed by Miley.
Well, definitely being careful right there, and he's going to have to be careful here again with Batista. Work the edges, try to get some movement, do some soft contact. And Batista's second at bat. Check swinger back to Miley. Like to get the same here. Get out of this inning.
Jose Bautista, as you've determined by the reception, is up. Breaking ball, he checks a swing. Oh, yeah. Yes, he does. And 2 base runners on an error and a walk. Towards the middle. Scope flips to Giannis at second base, and they force Pilar. What a play by Scope. The shorter throw, but it took some real ability there, and the flip to Paul Giannis for the final out. For the achiever in you, yesterday you were talking about the depth in catching. Here's another example.
Yeah, Austin Wynn's really known for his catching abilities, but he has been hot with the bat. How about in the month of May? 323, 20 for 62, a home run, 2 doubles in there, RBIs, but this has been a common theme this season, hitting 339. Austin Wynn's total package right now down in Double-A Bowie.
Orioles down 3-1. Adam Jones with a home run, leading off in the 4th, getting that run in. Mancini doubled his first at bat, went with the pitch and slapped it to right field.
Now Estrada very pitch efficient here. A few times he's actually fallen behind a hitter in the early part of the ball game, starting many hitters off with the changeup, a breaking ball, and then finishing them off with the fastballs up in the zone. Pitching backwards in the first half of the ball game. See if he changes things up a little bit.
Mancini gets ahead 3-0. Borderline pitch called a strike. 3-1. Mancini now 18 for 47 in May. Very consistent month. Another strike.
Falls behind, paints away, paints inside, and gets himself right back into the count. You gotta wonder, what's he gonna go to here?
Fastball too tight. There's a leadoff walk. Now the Orioles in their home games this year, Mike, have not been playing with the best of weather conditions. So these are overall numbers, Orioles and opponents, and are deep inside the numbers and where it ranks. And you know, as time goes on and the weather heats up, these numbers will improve.
Oh yeah, for sure. But not a hitter-friendly park for the first 2 months of the season. When it's a little cooler, a ball doesn't travel as well, and it actually ranks as one of the hardest hitting parks in the American League. Next month, July, numbers are definitely going to start growing.
Caleb hit a little squib that rolled up the first base line, initially foul, and it spun back fair, and Marco Estrada was alert and got to it. Mancini on at first. He's been on base twice today. Estrada did not win a game in April despite an ERA of 2.70. He was 0-1 with 4 no decisions, including 2 no decisions against the Orioles. He went too far, says Ron Culpa. So he's trying to get out of the way, and the bat goes through the zone.
Yeah, his changeup kind of chasing him inside. He's looking to get on it. Stay over the baseball, realizing it's going to be a ball. Everything kind of turns. Ball not going his way.
And he got him. So Caleb is down on strikes. Strikeout number 8 for Marco Estrada.
Like 4 straight fastballs. Caleb Joseph, that AB. Finish him off with a dart down and in at 91. You see how it kind of ties Caleb up a little bit. Back of your mind, you're thinking about that changeup or the slow breaking ball.
Paul Janisch back with the O's today, called up from AAA Norfolk. Ryan Flaherty on the DL. Not one Oriole, at least as of yet, has tried to test Russell Martin, an inexperienced third baseman, with a bunt. Mancini edging that lead off first. Hopped him up. Darwin Barney at short, and shallow left has it for the out. So 2 men down. Mancini back to first. Fans, you can talk Orioles baseball with us all season long. Just follow Masson Orioles on Twitter for the latest O's news, gifts, giveaways, and more. That's Masson Orioles on Twitter. Jonathan Schoop 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Another first pitch changeup.
Yeah, he's got everybody guessing right now.
Well, each batter in this inning, Estrada has fallen behind. He's come back to get the last 2 after the Mancini walk. Huge foul back of the plate. Estrada is what they call a reverse split pitcher. Normally pitchers will dominate to the side they throw. but he gets out left-handed batters with much more frequency than right-handers. Lefty's batting .218, but righty's .255, and as a result, Buck Showalter adjusted his lineup today. Only Chris Davis batting from the left side.
Well, Estrada's still pretty effective against righties as well. That change up the equalizer.
Line, but right at Devin Travis. Adam played perfectly. So the leadoff walk is left stranded through 5. Toronto with a 3-0 lead. Here at Oriole Park, Barnes is a volunteer and leader for health care for the homeless, participating in a committee that guides the agency on how it can better serve the community. Once lacking a job in a home himself, Barnes shares his story with diverse audiences through the local Speakers Bureau to raise awareness about homelessness. We thank James Barnes for his passion for helping the poor and homeless get back on their feet. 3-1 game, a 3-run home run by Devin Travis in the first. All unearned following a scope error. Adam Jones with a solo home run for the Orioles run. And strike one to Kendrys Morales. Smoke and Travis will follow.
Wade Miley pretty efficient in this ball game. Some soft contact outs. We're settled in after that first inning. 3-run shot.
And Morales goes against the shift. Leadoff single. The fans mark it down. The Boston Red Sox back in town June 1st through the 4th. Big 4-game series. Great seats remain for the entire 4-game series. And it will feature great promotional items highlighted by a Manny Machado starting lineup figure on Saturday, June 3rd. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Here's Justin Smoke, who's 1 out of 2. This is a tough play. Davis is back on it. Here comes Scope, and it falls between them. Neither had a real good angle.
Well, a couple of big guys going after it hard, though. That would have been a nasty collision right there. High pop up. And just as it hits, there comes Jonathan Scope into the picture. Chris Davis has been real good reading those type of pop-ups. A little shove. Get out of here, Scope. I don't mind.
Chris Davis had no idea Scope was that close, but at Davis stop, Jonathan might have been able to get to it. High fly ball to left. Mancini is back, and he has a play. As Justin Smoke gets under it.
Just underneath it. Wow. That's when that launch angle hurts you right there. A little too steep from Smoke.
There's Devin Travis. The big blow in the first after the error in the single. A 3-run home run. He jumped on the first pitch in that at-bat. singled in the fourth. He has 3 consecutive multi-hit games, and he has multi-hits in 6 of his last 7. So what was that about that slow April?
Yeah,
that is gone. That is history.
It is so far gone.
He's got a 7-game hitting streak now. 15 for 26. That's good, right?
Oh, man, real good. He haven't been cheap either. He's been getting his extra base hits. Couple doubles and a home run in this series.
Swung at ball 3, so that helps Miley out. 2-1 the count. Devin Travis, 26 years old. He's in his 3rd season. Played in college at Florida State, and he was the 13th round pick of the Tigers in 2012. And the Blue Jays really got the better of the trade when they acquired him. Ground ball to Davis. He'll go to second, out there and back to first. Not in time. Knocked down by Wade Miley, and Joseph is backing up. So that'll be a fielder's choice. 3-6 retiring Morales and 2 men down.
Nice play by Davis, stepping up, actually creating a lane. A slower hit ball, so gains about a half step. He knows it's going to be bang bang with the speed. And Miley hustling over to cover first base, but you see Travis getting there just ahead of him. It's dangerous over there. Pitcher cover and get the feet all crossed up. Lucky nobody hurt.
And as a lefty, he falls towards third base, so he has more ground to cover. But Travis, who's now on at first, the Blue Jays got him in November of 2014 from the Tigers, even up for Anthony Gose, who's in the minors. And Travis is a budding star at second base.
Yeah, if not for a couple major injuries, he was on his way to superstardom. Got off to an incredible start his freshman year.
He only played in 62 games in that season. Last year was able to play in 101. Russell Martin is 0 for 2. He has never been able to figure out Wade Miley. He's just 4 for 25 against him. Miley's pitched himself a good game. Some misfortune in that first. To right field. Trumbo in on it. Will play it on a hop. Trumbo was playing very deep and he couldn't get in on it, so that's a 2-out single.
And Martin just staying on the pitch away, flipping one out there to right field, dropping in front of who's big right fielder. Once again, finding themselves in scoring position.
Darwin Barney playing at shortstop today, 0 for 2. He did reach on a Machado error in the 5th. Orioles have committed 3 errors in this game, a season high. Miley trying to work around the 2 singles. It is first and second with 2 down.
Like that veteran pitcher, not tending to pick him off second base. Just to let him know he's thinking about him. Only a half step could be the difference. Gunning him down at home on a base hit.
1-1 on Barney. Buck and the Birds trying to sweep the Blue Jays, which is very hard to do. Orioles have swept 3 series this year, including a 2-game series to begin the season against these Blue Jays. Perfect pitch, 1-2. They have a 3-game sweep against the White Sox and a 2-game sweep against the Nationals for their 3 sweeps.
And take a look at Miley's 89th pitch. Fastball in that outer third of the plate. Well located. How about the efficiency there? Miley looking good. Well, that first inning elevated. He was cruising through there, and then that error, ground ball to Jonathan Scope, a little backhand that kicked up on him. He ended up throwing 9 more pitches to jack that count up.
And now he's gone full.
Now Wade Miley's had some 3-2 counts in this ball game, but he's been pretty effective. Typically, though, throughout the year, he's been pitching to a higher number. How about 35.8% more pitches than anybody when he gets to 3-2 counts? So a lot of foul balls and the inability to put hitters away.
Well, he put him away there, swing and a miss. Caleb will tag out Darwin Barney, so the 2 base hits don't hurt. Mid-6th, Birds come to bat, down by 2. Well, time for a caricature. 40, why don't we go out there?
Yeah. Pretty amazing how they could do that.
Bonnie and I once sat for one of those, and there were people around laughing. And when I saw the caricature, I figured out why. I was a puppet, and she had her hand. And moral of the story is she controls me. So be careful with those caricatures.
Right. Wow.
You don't know what kind of sense of humor the artist has. A lot going on at the ballpark.
Yeah, great weekend.
Adam, fooled by the pitch, pops it up. This ball's trouble, and it's going to fall in there for a base hit. How about that? He was fooled by the pitch, just poked at it, and it falls in for a leadoff single.
Oh, he'll take that for sure. There have been times Adam Jones lined out to anybody on the field. Does it all even out? I don't know about that, but he'll take this knock for sure. Finding some outfield grass. Or a base hit off Estrada. Estrada's been dealing, reaching down there, just trying to put it in play. Good things happen when you work hard up there. Base knock for Jones.
A 2-hit game for Adam. He homered in the 4th and now a single in the 6th. So Manny the tying run at the plate. Manny was going to test Russell Martin. The pitch was down and away.
There are a lot of times if you're an opposing team and you see a slugger lay down a bunt, in your mind you say, yeah, go ahead. But the Orioles lineup, there's sluggers in every position. Right behind Manny Machado, you got Crush Davis and Trumbo behind him.
And again he showed bunt.
Trying to get Martin in there, stay in there. Maybe whistle one by him. Scott Coolbaugh, his offense putting up some big numbers here recently.
And fouls it back 2-1. Manny Machado, 15th career home run against the Blue Jays, more than any other opponent in the game last night.
Yeah, he just missed number 16 right there. High changeup.
Jones at first, nobody down. Fouls off the changeup, 2-2. Manny's trying to find the consistency, just hasn't been able to get there. But anytime he steps in the box, he is dangerous. Called out on strikes. Fooled by the changeup.
Absolutely such a tough pitch. Puts it down lower third, fading down and in. The hitters get 2 strikes. They're thinking about the fastball at the top of the zone. Get anywhere in between, you're going to be in trouble. Estrada picking up his 9th K of the game.
Ties the season high with 9 strikeouts. He also has a strikeout in every inning in this game. Chris Davis now with Jones at first. Line but foul. Trying to hold up that swing on a 78-mile-an-hour changeup, and he couldn't do it. Davis just 1 for 12 in the series. He is due for a big hit. Estrada looking for his 3rd victory of the year. Fastball sailed inside.
Yeah, that's a big reason why he has success against the lefties as well. He's that little natural cut on the fastball. It was boring in there hard, and then of course that'll help open up the outside corner with that changeup. It gets on the knuckles quick.
Of course, Estrada was born in Mexico but grew up in Silmar, California. 33 years old. He could pitch. Mentioned he was drafted by the Nationals. The Nats lost him on a waiver claim to Milwaukee for the 2010 season. And then after 2014, he was traded to Toronto. Strike 3 call. Fastball on the outside corner.
Yeah, throws probably his hardest fastball of the game at 92 miles an hour. Take a look as it cuts back just ever so slightly, catching that outside corner. In that quadrant up and away, hits his spot where Melee was setting. It's the called 3rd strike on Crush Davis. Take a look from the top. Looks like it's on the white.
So season high 10 Ks for Estrada. Trumbo takes ball 1. You wonder if the Blue Jays don't turn it around, if Estrada will be on the trade market come July. Veteran pitcher that knows how to pitch.
A lot of times it's the timing of everything. How about Mark Trumbo leading the Orioles with most RBIs with 2 outs, and here is that situation. 2 outs on the board. Trumbo trying to pick up his 17th, maybe 18th. 2nd in major leagues with 16 RBI.
All of his 6 home runs have come with 2 down. If you look at Estrada, he's in his 3rd season with the Blue Jays. 24-19, but his ERA 3.34 with Toronto. Any contender would love that.
Oh yeah, man, he's been durable as well.
He is a free agent at the end of this year. He signed a 2-year, $26 million contract to remain in Toronto after his first season there in 2015. Pete Walker is pitching coach. Easy to work with a guy who's this efficient. Plays off the high fastball, 2-2. Trumbo now has a 3-game hitting streak with his hit in the 4th inning. And in his last 16 games, he's really been on a tear, batting in the 370 range. And he got him. Strike 3 for Mark Trumbo. So after the blue pit, 3 consecutive Ks. We will head to the 7th. 3-1 Toronto.
Orioles looking for a sweep against the Blue Jays. Miley gets a couple quick outs in the 1st, but Scope can't find the handle. Looks harmless, but Travis ends up hitting a 3-run home run in the 1st inning. The Jays that lead, but Miley settles in. He goes to work, couple big punch outs, and then the defense starts picking it up. How about Machado to Scope on to Davis? Another brilliant double play turn. Miley settling in nicely in this ball game. Orioles just trailing by 2. Geico 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Well, Miley very pitch efficient. He'd like to be at about 90 pitches through 6 innings. He was at 92.
Yeah, when you think about the extra pitches he's had to throw. We talked about that 1st inning, but 3 errors in this ball game. Typically, it's the walks that jack up the pitch count for Miley. Only 1 in this ball game.
Alec Asher on the bullpen mound with Alan Mills looking over the scouting reports. That bounced and got a piece of the umpire.
Wow. And spiking the hard slider down and in. Look right here. Up and over the shoulder of Caleb.
Oh, it missed him.
Close to everybody, though. Everybody ducking.
Caleb didn't want to turn around there. Please don't be mad, Mr. Umpire. Spikes another one.
All right, getting there. Caleb wants it down in the dirt. He's pointed down there a couple times. It is down there, but just a little too short. Alfred can recognize it pretty quickly.
Roger McDowell on the bench. Alford still looking for that first big league hit. He was called up from Double-A New Hampshire on Friday. Started Friday, came in late in the game yesterday, and getting another start today as John Gibbons loaded his lineup with all right-handed bats. Ground ball towards short. Giannis has to hurry, and he gets it there. So the veteran clock, he knew it and got it across, one down. Fans, Orioles single game tickets are on sale, so reserve your seats for upcoming promotions, including the floppy hat presented by Miller Lite, the grayscale cap, and infielders bottle stopper set, and more. For tickets, visit Orioles.com/tickets or call 888-848-BIRD. Here's Luke Maile, the catcher. Shows you how the analytics and the fielding charts have changed the game. Here's Luke Maile. He's 2 for his last 32. He's 3 for 45 on the year, and the Orioles are shifting on him.
Well, that's where all the outs have probably happened, right? Right over there on the left side. A lot of times when hitters struggle, they tend to pull the ball anyway because they want to hit it right out of the pitcher's hand. They're just unwilling to trust their eyes and let the ball travel, actually let the game come to them. And get jumpy, reach out there, and you end up hooking everything. You see Luke's hits by direction, a couple to left field, just the one to right field.
Well, it's hard to spread them out when you only have 3.
That's true.
Well, no disrespect, he hasn't been up that long. The scope now goes back on the other side. And he struck him out. So Maile fell behind 3-1, comes back to get him. Just his 3rd strikeout, 2 away.
And we talked about Wade and not let the bottom of the lineup hurt him. Nice pitch right there. And the bottom of the lineup hasn't really touched him. Maile picking up another K.
Here's Pilar, and there's a strike. Pilar has been on base twice in this game. Fly ball to right for Trumbo. And he puts it away, so Wade Miley has a 3-up, 3-down inning, his 2nd in the game. The 7th inning stretch presented by the Hyundai Better Than Ever sales event with the best total savings on select models in Hyundai's history. It's going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Orioles come up in the bottom of the 7th, down by 2. As the Orioles going for the sweep, and welcome into the booth, Jim and Mike on this Sunday afternoon. And an unfortunate error in the first inning, but you got to give the Blue Jays credit. Following the 2-out error by Scope, a single to keep it going, and then Travis a 3-run home run in the first, and that's all the scoring. Wade Miley's really done a good job.
Yeah, Travis has been their hottest hitter for sure. You don't want him to get up there with runners in scoring position, but you love the way Miley's settled in. 3 errors in the ball game, so he's had to work a little bit harder to get to this point. But he's been pretty efficient in the ball game. He's getting a lot of weak contact ground balls. So nice to see him get deep in the ball game. It's been a little while since he's pitched more than 5 innings. Now we're taking it into 7.
Yeah, and Marco Estrada has been real tough on the Orioles hitters today. He has 11 strikeouts. And as a hitter, if you can't put it in play, nothing good can happen. 11 Ks by the O's.
Yeah, Estrada's on his game right now. So tough to pick up that changeup with the great arm cell. Locating his fastball well also. So moving it around a little bit and keeping this offense off balance. One big ball by Adam Jones to get the O's on the board. They got to start putting some pressure on Estrada.
So Marco Estrada, 11 Ks. His career high is 12 and 95 pitches to get through 6 innings. Nothing doing in the Blue Jays pen. Here's Castillo, who's DHing today. He is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Trying to extend his hitting streak to 10 straight games.
Well, it said after that ball game yesterday, it took him a couple pitches to figure Barnes out. He ended up hitting that big blast to win the ball game. It took him a little longer to figure Estrada out. And hopefully he has.
That ball hit the bat. That's unfortunate for Castillo. That ball was sailing inside, so 1-1. Well, the last 4 innings, the Orioles have been able to get the leadoff man on, but they only scored in the 4th when Jones led off the inning with a home run. One and 2.
Well, Estrada's done a pretty good job really the whole ball game. Inconsistent a couple innings ago about getting that first pitch strike, but getting ahead and mixing up his pitches. Of course, the changeup obviously being that best secondary pitch. But, flipped in some breaking balls. He's cutting his fastball.
Pete Walker's pitching coach with the charts. A lot of stars on that chart today. Ball 3, doesn't chase the changeup. That was pretty amazing, as Castillo told us last night following the game, that I figured it out what he was going to do after seeing 2 pitches, and then he hits a home run. It's not supposed to be that easy.
No, it's not.
The 3-2. Right field. Ball has some carry. Bautista's back on it and runs it down just in front of the wall. So Wellington gives it a ride, but Bautista's there for the out and 1 away.
Nice pass right there. Castillo just getting underneath it a little bit. And driving it deep to right field. Almost the same spot he drove a 2-run homer off Sanchez in the first game of the series.
Castillo 0 for 3. And here is Trey Mancini now. Mancini has doubled. He has walked, so he's been on base twice. He'll take ball 1. Batting at .296, so trying to get back above 300. Popped them up. Smoking foul ground, has it. And 2 quick outs. Fans, for every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support the American Diabetes Association. The Orioles have drawn 119 walks. That's a total of $5,950. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and a more active lifestyle. Joe Smith getting loose. Estrada now over 100 pitches. Giannis, that is a foul ball. Just pulled it foul. Oh, I'm sorry, Joseph. Giannis is on deck. Had my Jays mixed up. Okay, a little bit of a squib up the first base line that Estrada got to, and then he struck out in the fifth. Blue Jays got Estrada from the Brewers, even up for Adam Lind. Very good trade for Toronto. And since going to Milwaukee, Lind then ended up in Seattle. Now he's on the Nationals. And Estrada still pitching well for Toronto. And he strikes out Joseph to end the inning. 12 strikeouts for a career high. We'll head to the eighth. 3-1 Toronto. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Let's go to the top of the fifth. 2 on and 2 down. Bautista, this roller up the middle, and Jonathan Scope with a real nice play flipping the Yanish to get the force on Kevin Pillar, and that ended the inning. So Scope with a lot of range and the perfect flip to Yanish for the out at the bag.
Yeah, nice quick clean transfer right there. Take a look at Wade Miley's line today. 7 strong innings, just what the doctor ordered. Want that 3-run home run. Of course, it was unearned. There was an error prior to the home run. Pretty impressive job by Miley, working 107 pitches with the 3 punch outs. Now it's time for the Jiffy Lube pitching change. Jiffy Lube stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube perform a free brake inspection today. Alec Asher coming out of the O's bullpen. Take a look at his numbers. And very versatile for Buck Showalter and the Orioles. 9 games, couple starts for him. Picked up a win. Very impressive 2.52 earned run average. 25 innings of work. 19 punch outs, just 6 walks. Holding opponents down to the 250 overall batting average. And first batters have given him a little bit of trouble. 3 for 5. That's 600 batting average.
He worked a scoreless inning on Friday night. Here's Bautista leading off. Buck Showalter's been very complimentary of Asher. He said he loves his windup. It's very simple, very efficient, and consistent. Versatile pitcher for the O's. He can start. And for the moment, he's working in relief. Falls behind Bautista, 2-1.
You kind of see what his game plan is for those 3 pitches. He can cut his fastball. Of course, he can slow it down a little bit, make it more sliderish, but bring the 2-seamer back as well on that outside corner.
Well, 3-1 the count. Morales on deck, and then Smoke. And there's a leadoff walk. Never a good idea. So Bautista down the first. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Ocean City. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City. Book now at OCOcean.com. And by Chesapeake Employers Insurance, your workers' compensation insurance company. Better than 36,000 on hand today. It was a sellout last night and 31,900 on Friday night. So Orioles drawing well this weekend series against division rival Toronto. Hendrys Morales batting left-handed for the first time today. And Asher gets ahead. Check swing, they'll appeal. He didn't go. Looked like he did.
Looked like a pretty good pitch. Nice changeup from Asher. Fading down and away. Man, looked like it caught that outside corner.
And he popped it up. Shallow center. This is tough in the glare. Here comes Adam Jones taking charge. And nearly in the infield, he makes the catch. So one down, back to first is Bautista. Fans, MLB.com at bat is your #1 app, mobile app for live Orioles baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Orioles home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today.
Quite a play right there from Adam Jones out in center field, recognizing the infielders having some problems. That fly ball taking charge the way he's supposed to. Of course, he has priority over everybody.
Justin Smoke, also a switch hitter, moves over to the left side. Smoke is 1 out of 3. His base hit came in the first inning, just ahead of the Travis home run. Justin Smoke was a high school teammate of Matt Wieters in Goose Creek, South Carolina. He's now 30 years old.
Two-seam fastball here. Nice sink action. Smoke swinging over the top.
And both Smoke and Wieters would become first-round draft picks. Wieters was a #5 overall pick to the Orioles out of Georgia Tech, and Smoke was a #11 overall pick of Texas back in 2008 out of South Carolina. Third season with Toronto.
Well, the old Rangers stockpiled on big first baseman, didn't they? Back in the day, they had Smoke. Of course, Chris Davis and Moreland, who's with the Red Sox now.
And way back, they had Mark Teixeira.
Right, Teixeira as well.
3-1 on Justin Smoke. Asher gloves to second, out there, back to first. They got the double play. Wow. What a pivot by Paul Janisch at second base to get it back to first. Outstanding play to end the inning.
A nice job on the comeback here. Asher fielding his position, getting the hands of middle infielder. Back foot in the glove and out. Nice turn by the O's. Welcome, Paul Janisch.
The Orioles homestand continues. The Birds open up a 3-game series against Minnesota. Minnesota has yet to decide on its starter, but Ubaldo Jimenez will go for the Orioles. Our coverage on MASN begins at 6:30 with those extra presented by Southwest. And then game coverage at 7 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN.
Are you kidding me? The Twins 21-17, first in the AL Central. Oh yeah, they won 6 of their last 10. Paul Molitor's going in the right direction with this baseball team. Some old school Twins ball in the most out of everybody. Sano leading the team with that .299 average to 10 homers and 30 RBIs. But the pitching, a couple young ones as well. Urban Santana off to a strong start, but they just called this Barrios kid up, and he has been dominant. 2-0 record with a .59 in a couple games. Well, it's going to be a tough series.
All right, some defensive changes. Ryan Goins comes in the game. He's at shortstop. That pushes Darwin Barney to third. And Russell Martin, who was at third, is now catching. And here is Hyun-Soo Kim, the pinch hit for Giannis. And there's a strike. Skied the left center field. Pilar calls off the left fielder Alford. And he's got it. And with that pitch, Estrada ties a season high in pitches.
Yeah, a little surprised that he came back out just because of the pitch count, but he really hasn't been in any trouble this whole ball game. Kind of on cruise control, getting its outs every now and then. A runner will get on, but coming up with the big pitches when he needs it. It's already establishing a career high in strikeouts. Might as well go ahead and do it in pitches. Pete Walker on the phone, getting that bullpen ready, making sure they're ready.
Jonathan Scope takes a strike. He thought it was inside. Joe Smith still getting ready in the Blue Jays bullpen. Popped up first base side. And Russell Martin runs it down. So Scope is retired. Let's get a look at our Lexus of Towson drive of the game. Adam Jones in the 4th inning.
Yeah, Adam Jones worked a 3-2 count, got a fastball, and did not miss it. A solo shot. With the O's on the board.
Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer for 7 straight years. Come see why at LexusofTowson.com. Adam Jones, couple of hits, a home run in the 4th that we just showed you, and a single in the 6th. One of the reasons Minnesota has not announced its starter yet for tomorrow is they've had double headers 2 of the last 4 days. And there's some weather issues possible for tomorrow here in Baltimore. It could be rain. So they don't want to call somebody up and make a move until they have to. Both teams do have Thursday off, so they wouldn't necessarily have to play a doubleheader on Wednesday.
Well, that's good to know.
Sorry to ruin your day, Mike, but I did some scouting. The Orioles are off Thursday, but will travel.
Boy. A couple times in this ball game, Adam Jones is feeling something on the swing. He takes that cut. Favoring that front ankle somewhere down there.
Two outs and nobody on. Towards the middle, and it gets on through for a base hit. Adam Jones has a 3-hit game.
And Payne picking up his 3 knocks. High fastball. Wanted down low, down and away, but it stays up. Finding the hole. Just past the diving effort of Travis.
Pretty amazing you could hit a pitch that high, that low.
Yeah.
So that'll be it for Marco Estrada. Here comes John Gibbons. He goes 7 2/3. The tying run is coming to the plate. So Estrada will leave. Joe Smith comes on in the 8th.
7 2/3, establishing a career high in strikeouts with 12. And of course, season high in innings pitched, scattering just the 4 hits, 1 run on the board. That solo shot by Adam Jones. And I don't know if the Orioles are happy Estrada's out of the game, but they got to face Joe Smith, one of their most reliable relievers. 23rd appearance here, 2.61 earned run average, and he comes from the side. And get the fastball up there, 90 miles an hour. A sweeping slider as well. Opponent's hitting just 230. Showing both the lefties and the righties pretty good. Only giving up the 1 home run. 37 runners left stranded there. 43%. Not a good number at all. First batters though, 190. Look at Estrada. Very strong performance by the righty.
Yeah, he allowed 5 hits, and Adam Jones has 3 of them. So just 2 hits the other 8 batters. Here's Manny, 0 for 3, but he represents the tying run. And he has hit Joe Smith pretty well, 3 out of 6. Ball 1-2 tight. Go to chase Jones back. Smith pitched in the game on Friday night. Faced 4 batters, allowed just a single to Trey Mancini. Oh, oh boy. You don't like to see it in that area.
Yeah, no. The hands are tough. Ball riding hard up and in on Manny Machado. Take a look. Oh, and that knuckle in the bottom hand.
Well, he says he's okay. He's going to stay in the game. Well, you know how delicate that could be. You saw what happened with Freddie Freeman of the Braves. He was hit by a pitch by Aaron Loop of these Blue Jays, and he's done for 10 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Very dangerous around the hands. And fortunately, looks like Manny's okay. And brings the go-ahead run up to the plate.
So Jones to second, Machado at first, and here's Chris Davis. Breaking ball stays outside. Davis 0 for 3. Tough series, 1 for 13. Brad Brock getting loose just in case the Orioles tie or get the lead. He floats in there for a strike. 1-1.
We were talking about some of the tying or go-ahead home runs earlier in this game. Chris Davis, of course, guy that's leading the team in the go-ahead home run department with 4 on the year.
Same pitch. 1-2. Davis has struck out twice, and each time it was a called strike 3. Orioles have 2 on with 2 down in the 8th. And another fastball right there. He looked over 3 consecutive fastballs right down the middle. So the Orioles strand 2 after the 9th, 3-1 Toronto. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Beautiful flowers outside the warehouse, and there's the snack that Bordy ordered.
Yeah, the beautiful sandwich
from Boogs. J.J. Hardy in the game. He's at shortstop. Giannis was pinch hit for by Kim. Alec Asher stays on for his second inning. Worked around a leadoff walk, got a double play to end it. For the Orioles, they want to keep it as is here, down by 2 for the bottom of the ninth. Trumbo, Castillo, and Mancini will be up 3 consecutive power threats. Strike 2 right at him. Travis, the difference in the game is 3-run home run in the first, the only Toronto scoring. Wade Miley went 7 innings, 3 unearned runs. So Miley ties Dylan Bundy for the most starts of at least 7 innings. They each now have 3. Swing and a miss. He got him.
Nice movement right there. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Ball just diving down and in. Look at this late movement. Holding a good velocity as well.
There's the closer, Roberto Osuna, getting ready to work the ninth. Russell Martin, 1 out of 3. It may have been the cutter.
Yeah. Nothing straight. Sometimes you get in trouble if it stays on the same lateral kind of plane, but get a little tilt on his pitches as well.
Changeup.
Good one.
Martin smiling, saying, I didn't know he had that.
Right.
I thought it was fastball cutter. Comes back with a fastball and he fouls it off to stay alive.
He looks good. He has looked good. Ability to command the ball to both sides of the plate. I think the most impressive ability for Masher.
Doesn't chase. So can't even. It's 2-2 on Russell Martin with Darwin Barney on deck. A little bit low, ball 3. And he got him. Oh, did that ball explode?
Some wiffle ball movement right there. He's cutting back across the plate. Joseph wants it away. Look at that late movement, drop it down and in. Oh, Russell Martin. A nice pitch, just swinging over the top. Bottom of the zone consistently through this AB. Good finish.
Asher back-to-back strikeouts, and here is Barney. Barney reached on an error by Machado in the 5th inning, but was left stranded. Scope with a grab. Takes a base hit away from Barney. What a play by Scope. Timed it perfectly as he lunged to make the grab and denied Darwin Barney. Bottom of the ninth coming up. O's need 2. By authority of the Orioles, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. It's Military Day here at the ballpark. 36,632, nice crowd on Youth Baseball Day, so a lot of youngsters, and here's the closer, Roberto Osuna.
Yeah, just 22 years old. This will be his 17th game. Got 5 saves on the year. Started the season slowly, but getting back into his regular dominant self. Power, fastball, slider combination. Works it up there in the mid to high 90s. With a good slider, cut his fastball as well. Also has a pretty good change. Numbers against lefties and righties. He's 232 overall. Righties only 212. First batters 250, 4 for 16. O's would love to get a first batter on.
He has not pitched since Tuesday. Here's Trumbo. Castillo and Mancini will follow. Osuna did blow a save against the O's on April 15th, but that was the game that Kendrys Morales led off with the home run off Tyler Wilson, and the Blue Jays won it 2-1. Mark singled in the 4th inning. Osuna last worked on Tuesday against Atlanta, game he was put into to get some work. Blue Jays lost at 9-5, and he allowed a run on 2 hits. It's the only run he's allowed the entire month of May. Of course, the Orioles' 8-game home winning streak is on the line. Their last loss here was April 25th against Tampa Bay. Trumbo is 0 for 3 against Roberto Osuna. Trumbo a pesky at bat, trying to get on base any way he can. As on deck is Wellington Castillo, who's in a real good groove. Tied the game and then won the game on Friday night with a pair of home runs, and then won the game last night with a home run.
There's some tough hitters up in this inning.
And there's a base hit, so Trumbo does his job. He gets on base, that gets the tying run to the plate. What an at-bat.
One of Osuna's weapons is the high fastball. Extra light through the top of the zone, but Trumbo, as good as anybody in the game, is staying on top of the high heater. This ball coming back hot, direct to the baseball. Can you be? And that is about as perfect as you're going to see. Nice swing from Trumbo.
And Wellington Castillo DHing today. He has struck out twice. He has flied out to deep right field. He has his 9-game hitting streak on the line. He also has the 6 consecutive games with an RBI streak on the line. Back-to-back swings and misses, 0-2.
Those are nasty pitches. A cutter, throwing it hard, 91, 90 miles an hour. And a little lateral movement. Starts it off right on the outside corner. Looks like a 4-seamer coming in. You see the movement on the pitch cast there, just off the outer edge.
Well, last night he hit a home run on an 0-2 pitch, so he's got Osuna right where he wants him.
Right? Yeah, who's setting up who right here?
Tried to get him to chase, and Castillo wouldn't do it, so a ball and 2 strikes. Towards the middle, this could be 2. There's Travis, steps on the bag and fires to first. The shift was on. They had him played perfectly, and that eliminates the base runner. 2 men down.
I just took a little off that pitch. Castillo out in front. Being a routine double play. Perfectly positioned by the Jays defensively there.
So the Orioles down to their final out. Here's Trey Mancini. 1 out of 2 with a double. He's also walked. Osuna's last save was May the 8th. So nearly 2 weeks ago. He had saves on back-to-back days, the 7th and the 8th, but does not have a save since. Slowly hit towards the middle. Travis will plant and throw, not in time. Mancini legs it out for an infield hit. So the Orioles have life.
Yeah, that's what you wanted right there. Splitting goings, and Travis taking the ball. No chance here. Hard ground ball. Yeah, pretty good range right there. Not the arm to get Mancini. Good hustle by Trey Mancini.
9th multi-hit game. He's 2 out of 3. But Showalter going to his bench. Here's Seth Smith to pinch hit for Caleb Joseph. Smith has been swinging a hot bat. He's got a 6-game hitting streak going. So that double play really helped out Osuna. Toronto is shifting on Smith. Popped them up. Left side. And Barney makes the catch, and the Blue Jays avoid the sweep. So the Orioles come up short. A 3-run home run in the first inning, the difference, as Toronto beats the Orioles by the final of 3-1. Well, we hope you can join us tomorrow. The homestand continues. Orioles and Minnesota Twins. They'll open up a 3-game series. Twins have not yet decided on their starter, but Ubaldo Jimenez will go for the Orioles. Our coverage on MASN begins at 6:30 with those extra presented by Southwest, and then game coverage at 7 o'clock. And now for Mike Bordick and our entire hardworking crew, Jim Hunter saying so long from Camden Yards, where the Blue Jays win it. Our final score, Toronto 3, Baltimore 1. Today's telecast has been a massive presentation. Tom and Rick, O's Extra comes your way right now.